Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Becky Maston from Dress a Child, getting everybody in Tuscarawas County ready for school. I know, don't groan, kids, but it will be around the corner. And we have to talk about this now, don't we, Becky, to be getting ready for it?
We absolutely do. Yeah, it is almost impossible to believe that we're already at the end of June heading into July. But we are indeed, and we're charging up our program so that we can be ready to go shopping.
What is shopping day? What day?
We do not have dates confirmed yet,
Okay.
but it is always in that first, maybe into the early second week of August when we go shopping.
I always thought it was funny. You go into the stores and they need to air condition them to death because you're trying on wool outfits in the middle of August to get ready to go back to school in the earlier and earlier every year, it seems, at the end of August, I suppose. And that's what we have to do, right? They have to make those sweaters look palatable, not like, oh my gosh, I don't want to think about getting in heavy clothes already.
Well, that's absolutely correct. But, one of the things I have noticed through the years is they don't do heavy clothing like we used to do in younger years. So that whole process is a little different that way. I notice children don't even wear coats most of the time when I think that that's like, wow, really cold for me.
Oh.
But they do lighter jackets and hoodies and things like that.
And they layer. Okay.
Yes, they do.
And times do march on, don't they?
They don't.
All right. This is a program for Tuscarawas County. Can businesses participate by contributing to it? Can you do a corporate sponsorship? Tell us how we can get people involved.
We don't do really what you would technically call a sponsorship, but certainly many of our area businesses do donate to our funds. Many churches in our area will have a day or a week or a month where they collect funds for Dress a Child. And then, as I said before, there are individuals who make contributions as well.
Is there a goal amount that you're shooting for? What's the dollar amount? Let's get there.
We don't really set a goal, but certainly we like for our vouchers to be above $75. And the closer we get to 100 is much better because, as I mentioned before, you just cannot purchase a whole lot today for $50.
Right.
So the greater dollar amount, the better for the children we serve.
And let's remind everyone how many children you're going to be serving this year.
Well, we're assuming it's going to be somewhere around last year, which was 1,348 children.
1,348. That is, wow. Okay, that's come quite a while from the 90?
95.
95 that they
originally,
did
yes.
back in 1970.
Yes.
Are we seeing more need these days? Are these families who really can't buy anything or just really needing a little bit of assistance to make ends meet? Is this working poor, or are we seeing actual people in poverty in the area an increase?
I think from our experience, the last, I'm going to say, 8 to 10 years has held somewhat level. But I think, indeed, we are seeing some people who you would consider to be in a poverty-type situation. Sometimes we can see that it is a familial kind of thing, that for whatever reason, there just doesn't seem to be that break, whatever it is, to get over the hump and to get on more stable financial footing.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that we can fill in the gap in those kinds of situations. And then obviously there are people, like I think back to 2008, when we took the economic hit, and there were people who entered the program in those 2 or 3 years who just really got hit very really hard. And so it was a 1 or 2 time thing. They just needed something to get over that hump and then to move on.
One way to get over that hump is to get a great education. And one way to get everybody off on the right foot is to just really feel good going to school in that new outfit. It really lends itself to doing better, doesn't it? We
does.
work harder when we're dressed for it.
Well, right, because I believe, anyhow, for myself, because you feel better about yourself. There are more possibilities when you think you look the part.
I love that you have it down to the diddy dot, that it's not roughly 1,300 children or nearly 1,350, but 1,348 children need to be dressed.
That was last year's
that was
number.
last,
yes,
and
that
we're
is correct.
probably going for about the same.
Right.
So this, and we'd love to get each one of them having $100.
We would
so
love that.
do
Yes.
the math, and we are asking for anyone in Tuscarawas County that would love to contribute towards this really, really great cause. When a lot do a little, it adds up to a lot.
Oh, that's so well said, because we get, I don't know last year that I got any cash donations, but I have actually gotten, $2 and $3 wrapped in a piece of paper and sent to me as a
Neat.
donation. And absolutely, it does all add up. Yes.
Well, and I'm thinking now, as you say that, what a great way to involve our children in giving. If they want to take a little bit of their allowance and put it towards helping another child get a new pair of cool shoes to go off to school in, that's a great way to involve children in what to do with their giving money, isn't it? I mean,
It is
one way.
One of the speaking of children doing it, one of my grandchildren actually set up a little lemonade stand.
Neat.
And made a sign and said, "This is for Dress a Child." And yeah, there are all kinds of ways to be involved. We had a woman years ago who held a garage sale, and all the proceeds from the garage sale came to Dress a Child.
Perfect.
Through the years, we have had multiple people would have a family member who has died, and they asked the memorial contributions be made to Dress a Child, so we benefit from that. So,
Okay, well, let those lemonade stands and garage sales inspire you, corporate people who own businesses, to be able to give a little bit towards Dress a Child. How do we do that, Becky?
Anyone who wants to donate funds to Dress a Child can send it to made payable to Dress a Child to me at 1210 Winkler Drive, Dover, Ohio 44622.
All right, let's say that one more time.
It is 1210 Winkler Drive, Dover, Ohio 44622.
Okay, I'm writing that down because we're going to say that again before you leave. Again, this is Tuscarawas County only. What are the registration dates? How do people register?
Okay, we have 3 registration dates coming up, and those are Monday, July the 9th for Newcomerstown, Ohio, Tuesday, July 10th in Dover and the Uricksville, Denison area, and Wednesday, July 11th in the New Philadelphia area. And I'd just like to say that because those sites are in those places, anyone can register at any site on any of the 3 days. So if you live in Newcomerstown and can't make Monday from 10 to 1, you can go to New Philly on Wednesday and register there.
Awesome.
During their times.
Okay, so registration is July 9th through 11th at any of those. Let's say the locations one more time, please.
Okay. July the 9th is Newcomerstown from 10 to 1. July the 10th is Dover from 10 to 1 and 5 to 7. Uricksville from 2 to 7. And Wednesday, July 11th in New Philly from 10 to 1 and 5 to 7.
How does a person know if they qualify?
We use the federal poverty guidelines as our threshold for registration, and people are pretty aware of what their financial situation is. Everyone needs to remember that they do need to bring a photo ID, and they need to bring paperwork supporting their financial situation.
It sounds like quite an operation. So I'm sure, since this is all volunteers, that you could always use more hands on deck. What kind of things do volunteers get to do, and how do we volunteer?
Okay, thank you. Volunteers can help with registration. Volunteers can help with shopping. Those are really the 2 big things. There are a core of us. I think there are, I want to say 8 of us altogether who kind of operate the program. And we come from different areas in Tuscarawas County so that we can help direct the registration process mostly to get people in where they need to be registered. But volunteers certainly are welcome. The more the merrier. Shopping gets to be a little harried because there are times, of course, where we have more need for more hands on deck than we do at other times of the day. So that's very welcome. Anyone who's interested can call me. My telephone number is 330-364-1684. And there is a message machine, so if no one answers, please leave a message, and I will get back to you.
All right, let's give that phone number one more time, please.
Okay, that phone number is 330-364-1684.
Awfully good of you to be giving your own, I'm guessing, address and phone number to be able to be doing this. Was it your mother-in-law that you said talked you into becoming involved?
No, this was a friend of my father-in-law
got it.
who talked
Okay.
me into it. Now, yeah, you have to consider, too, that things are a little different in the world since I started in this program. But people need to be able to reach and talk with someone about the program. So I'm happy to be available to do that.
Are you the program, Becky?
I am not the program.
Is there
no.
a crew? Do you have a crew?
There is a crew. There are about 8 of us, like I said. Actually, our chairperson is Brenda Jenkins. She kind of lays out how the program's going to look for the year. She takes care of arranging registration sites and shopping dates and sites, the registration times. She kind of directs the official notifications that we put out. We put flyers out in different areas around town so that people have access to see the dates and all. My job is doing PR type things, and I'm also the treasurer of the organization. So it's much easier if people know my address, then checks and things can come directly to me.
Sure.
Or I can then take a phone call and say, yes, let me connect you with whoever's taking care of the Newcomers Town registration site and get you set up with them. So that's how it works.
And tell me about registration. Confidentiality, I'm sure, is respected. What does that day look like? What's that process to get registered?
People come in and, like I said, photo ID and all of their financial supporting information, and they will sit down with one of our volunteers to register and go through their paperwork to make sure that, yes, indeed, they do qualify. We need to know how many children can register if they are in grades kindergarten through 12th grade.
Wow.
So we cover a wide spectrum. We need to know guesses, anyhow, of sizes of the children and how many children there would be, how many actually fall into the program guidelines. We go through all of that. And then in the process, the volunteer is filling out a form that helps us with that kind of information. And then we give the mom or a grandma or whoever is there a form that they take with them, and then they bring to the shopping site at their time. So we have a kind of a check and balance, and we know then that, yes, indeed, the person that is coming to shop really did register through our program.
I know this would be the case in Stark County. I'm not sure if it is in Tuscarawas County. We would have some private schools, some Christian schools, where the children are there because of Ohio Choice and not able to purchase their own required uniforms. Do you have anything that kind of addresses if there's a required uniform? Oh, I'm so glad you're nodding.
Yes, we do. We try to keep... Before the program starts and we go shopping, we try to find out from each school system that we cover what their clothing requirements are, and uniforms being one of those, so we can at least help direct somebody to where they may need to go to. Primarily in our area, it's ordering that kind of uniform these days. And then we will work out the funding of that uniform, since they can't purchase those clothes through our program. Perhaps the child might need shoes, and we can take care of that part of it while giving them the information about where to get the uniform. But we try to work that out on site.
Very nice. All right, well, let's review all of the information here. Tell me the registration dates again.
Okay, registration dates again are Monday, July the 9th, Tuesday, July the 10th, and Wednesday, July 11th.
And bring all the documentation that you need to say that you qualify. Volunteers, how do they get a hold of you?
Once again, you can reach me if you're interested in volunteering, or if you just want to know more, please call 330-364-1684.
And if we've got checks, and please send in lots and lots of checks to what address?
To 1210 Winkler Drive, Dover, Ohio, 44622.
Becky Maston from Dressed Child. Thank you for all you're doing in our community.
Thank you so much for having me here.